I want to make this video because as things are unfolding in 2025, and this is on the third to fourth quarter of the year, we're seeing a lot of people getting laid off. We're seeing a lot of people who are looking for work. We're seeing a lot of people who are just kind of finding themselves stuck between a rock and a hard place and they may not know what to do. So I want to share something that I've learned from my family members from the time I was a child. I actually started my first business at the age of 8. I was selling candy. Put a comment down below if you ever sold candy at school or if you ever started a business, especially as a child or even as maybe a teenager or a young adult. Did you ever start a business or try to find a way to make money? So what I want to talk to you today about is the importance of having additional skill sets, okay? Because this is something I learned from my family members early on, and I didn't realize that I picked it up until seeing things unfold this year, which is October 2025, and how people are trying to scramble and figure out, okay, how long are they going to be furloughed, or how long are they going to be looking for a job and not really knowing what to do. So if you are a white collar worker, you're used to getting things done in the office, maybe working on a PC, and there is a time and a place where you need to have a blue collar skill. I'm just going to be honest with you, because in times like these, those blue collar skills are going to be what can potentially bring you income. And one of the things that I learned from my family members was I saw multiple of them having a professional job, but they all had some kind of skill set that they could rely on for additional income. So for instance, I had one particular aunt, she owned a store that they attached to the front of their house. So we would kind of think of it like not like a corner store, but it would be kind of like considered a corner store. But also in addition to having that, where it was like a convenience store attached to her house, she also would cook meals and take them to construction workers. So I remember being a little kid, probably in elementary school at the time. And when I would be on vacation going to visit my family, I would go with her and hang out with my cousins and stuff like that. But then she's like, hey, Barika, let's go to, deliver these lunches or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm a little kid. Hey, I'm like, let's hop in the car, let's go. And she would actually be making these large meals, and she had plates and things of that nature. I'm trying to remember back, but she would take them out to the construction site. She would drive out to the construction site and she would just be serving those meals, and those guys would be paying her money. So that was a way that she was bringing in additional income into her household. I had another aunt that was a professional in the banking industry, but she also knew how to knit. So she knitted some hats. She taught me how to knit. And so I learned how to knit and was able to see her make these hats and stuff like that. And she was selling hats. She also did a couple of other things. All on that particular side of my family, everybody has an additional skill set in addition to whatever they did as their profession. And 9 times out of 10, that was a blue collar skill. So whether it was my uncle that could work as a plumber, but also owned a bar. Also I had another uncle who worked as an electrician, but he also did electrician type work on the side. So I'm going to tell you, I went through a difficult time many years ago where I was kind of between jobs. I left one job and was hoping to be able to make an income from a different job, and it just did not work out because it was 100% commission, and it was just a difficult time. So what did I lean back on in that time? When I was 18 and I was getting ready to go to college, I decided that I was going to get me a new car because I had too many cars with instructions and I was tired of having cars with instructions. One of the cars, I had to take the ignition, disconnect the ignition from the car every time I left. I started that car with a screwdriver, but guess what? I was happy to have that car at that time because it got me from point A to point Z. And I think it even had a tarp. We had to put a tarp over the window, like, so if it rained, like when it was parked or whatever. And if it was raining while I was driving, then hey, I had to just kind of figure it out. That tarp was not on at that time. But I was grateful for those cars. But at that time, I was kind of over cars with instructions. I think that was my first car with instructions. And by the time I finished high school, I had about 3 to 4 cars with instructions. So when I was going off to college, I was like, hey, I want a new car that I know works, that I don't have to have any work done on it. And I'm like 17, 18 at the time, and I'm going to college, and I have to pay for my own, car note, and I have to pay my own insurance, and I'm also paying my own cell phone bill at that time. So I'm like, okay, I need to have a way to pay, because the job I had at that time just wouldn't be enough to pay for like those kind of things. And thankfully, I was blessed to be able to be on full scholarship and stuff like that. So all my room and board and books and stuff, that was all taken care of. So it was just the car and stuff that I needed to take care of. So I decided as an 18-year-old, What can I do as a business that I can make some money as a college student? So I actually went and enrolled in the local beauty school and decided to take up nail technician work. And in taking up that nail technician work, I learned how to do it. I didn't sit for the board exam. I think that was the last thing I needed to do. And I just decided not to do it because I got a better job. So I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to rely on this, but I did finish the schooling part. I just didn't sit for the board exam to get the license at that time. So fast forward several years later, where I am leaving from one career, transitioning to another career, but that career is basically 100% commission. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to bring in some extra income? Because I'm seeing things dwindle, and nothing's coming in. So what do I need to do? So guess what I pulled on? That same skill set from when I went to the nail tech school. And so I started messaging my friends. I'm like, hey, I'll do mobile pedicures, and I went ahead and sent those messages out, and I had a couple people call me, and I was like, hey, $20 for a mobile pedicure. And I went to those people, and then they recommended me to a couple other people, and that brought income into my wallet at the time, which was able to be used to buy food or pay bills or whatever. So I'm saying all that to say, like, if you now are in a position where you're trying to figure out things and scramble and sort those things out, go ahead and do what you have to do. But at the same time, go ahead and find something that you can do that can make money, whether it's cutting grass, cutting hair, doing pedicures, whatever. Find something that you can do. Some people do, clean houses and stuff like that. Or I saw one lady on YouTube, she takes in laundry and she does laundry for people because everybody's not losing money right now. The money is just shifting hands. It's just shifting hands. Money never disappears off the face of the earth. It just shifts hands. So then you figure out a way, okay, who's the money transferring to right now? How can I make sure that I can provide a valuable service to them so that I can make sure that I can buy food or pay my electricity bill or get gas or pay my insurance or whatever those things are, because those things are serious. And I know the pressure that comes with it, the financial pressure that can come with it. So definitely, if you have a side hustle, I want you to drop it down in the comments. If you've ever had a car with instructions, I want you to drop it down in the comments. Let me know. All right, with that being said, make it a great day.